Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is a work and career reading for Sagittarius from the 3rd to the 17th of September 2018. Don't forget to watch your moon and rising signs if you want a more complete view. If you'd like a personal reading, I put my details in the description box. They're the details of my website as well as my email address, so get in contact with me. I've put the decks I'm using down in the description box, and I've put links to Amazon and eBay, so purchase them if you would like. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me a message if these readings resonate with you. So I'm doing a general energy reading for you first, and then I shall do the general tarot reading after that. So the first card is your plans are progressing nicely, and you need to have more self-belief and take responsibility for your actions. You have the expertise to do this particular job, so you're pretty well trained up to do this job, and things are going pretty nicely at the moment. This was a job with it's a management position job that you have at this moment, and you've just received some sort of promotion or salary raise recently in the past. So going into the future, you might need to be seeking legal advice in your work or in your life, and there might be some unrealistic expectations that you may have out of this job. So things are progressing pretty nicely, and you do have the expertise to move forward. You just need to act with more confidence and take responsibility for everything you're doing, and try not to have unrealistic expectations. Make sure you know exactly, be practical when you're handling situations. There also might be a need to seek some legal advice. So these are the energies for those 2 weeks. So I have shuffled this deck. I'll just give you one more shuffle and cut this deck. So the main energies is the Five of Swords. So you know, you're feeling as though you're being bullied at your workplace. People are telling you what to do. You feel as though you're a slave and you don't really have a voice. You feel very shackled or very tied up to this job, and you're working very, very hard. And you know, you've got somebody that is like an overseer, somebody watching you all the time, and so that you can't make a move, you can't do anything. This man is taking account of all of these slaves, and they're not allowed to even speak to each other, let alone get up and do anything. You don't seem to have any weapons of defense against this man, so he is or this person who is in charge of you, it seems like, you know, they have all the authority, and you just have to get down there and do the work and get on with it. So this is like almost a form of slavery that you feel that you're going through at the moment within this particular job, and feeling very restricted. These people are all chained up together, so feeling very tied up, very restricted, very bullied, and you know, very humiliated as well whenever you try to make a move. Maybe this person is very harsh with their words, telling you what to do, and making you feel really small and insignificant. So that's what's going on in your workplace at the moment. So main situation is that you are working very hard with this Three of Wands. You are working probably within somebody else, and this is a project that has required a lot of toil. So working you know, long hours of the day and night, trying to produce something. You are planting the seed, so something new is beginning, and you are trying to make this thing grow, and you're working you know, long hours, day and night, and it is very, very hard work and very, very stressful work, and it's very, very tiring work as well. And you know, there's a lot of times where you spend by yourself with this Hermit card there. So sometimes, you know, maybe you're feeling like that you're all alone, spending a lot of time alone by yourself, not getting to go out and socialize with anybody, and you're putting all your effort and energy into this work as well. This card is the Hermit card, which is ruled by Virgo. So Virgo is a very solitary sign. And it could indicate that within this work, this job, even though there are people next to you or people working with you, you'll all tend to be working individually and isolating yourselves. But the work is extremely hard, and you are trying to produce something that is going to grow and flourish at this particular moment. So in the past, you've had a choice that was made to you, that you made. So you picked something that you really liked. You, with this King of Cups, something that was really some kind of job that you've chosen, or career path that you've chosen, was something that you really liked, that you really found very appealing to you. And this was done in this past year so that you could move forward. So you have got some forward movement, especially with this horse. And it was some choice that you made that you really knew that you would enjoy. So you started off really enjoying this piece of work that you were doing, or this job that you're doing. But in this last few months, it's been something of a toil. With this Four of Pentacles, you can see all these people are working so hard to try and accumulate things and save things. So maybe this job has not been paying off as well as you hoped or expected to. And now you find that you are in a lot of financial lack, and you are having to watch how you spend your money and putting aside savings so that you can have something for a rainy day. So you are living very frugally at this particular moment and trying to save as much as possible. You're watching all the little pennies as well and putting things aside as well. So investment is a good thing, but it seems like, you know, you're going overboard as well, because you're worried that you're going to end up in some sort of financial problem because your job is not paying as well as you hoped it would. And considering that you're working so hard, you would be, you know, you don't want to be in this position where you are having to watch every single penny. And you know, this person is putting out essentials, sort of like rice and things that they essentially need to live on. So you are really struggling financially within the last 3 months, and you're hoping that something new, that you'll be able to manifest something new, will come in with this Magician card. You're hoping that new money will come in, a new job will come in, something new, and you want an idea of yours to come to work out. So you're trying to manifest this idea as well into your reality. You're trying to bring this abundance into your reality. The Magician is an action card, so that means that, you know, you want to physically do something in order for this money or this job or this new opportunity to come to your experience. So this is on your mind at the moment. So going into the future, you know, there's some sort of sacrifice that needs to be made in order for the job. You'll have to give up something very important to you. Maybe it's your time, maybe it's something that you're doing that you quite enjoy, something that you love doing. So a sacrifice needs to be made in order for you to move forward with this Four of Swords over here in this deck. You can see they're slaughtering an animal, and you know, they're going to give it up as a sacrifice. So really, you do need to sacrifice something really important in order for you to move forward. Yourself, you've got the Ten of Pentacles, so maybe you are reaching a point where you feel that, you know, you've come to the end of what you can do in this particular position, because the tens are usually the end of cycles. So maybe this is as far as you can go in this particular job. Maybe there's no more scope for you within it. So this is how you're feeling, that you've reached the end. You've worked with this team and you can't work with them anymore. If you worked in this position and really it's not bringing you any kind of rewards, especially if you're having to save and scrounge for the coins, or having to put aside money, you feel like this is something that you want to give up, and you want to move on to something better, or you want to start something new. And this is probably why you've got the Magician card here, where you want to manifest some new opportunity. So you do feel like you've reached the end of this particular phase in your life and you want to move on. Now, Raja people do see that there is abundance. So this is what the world sees, and it sees that you are very stable and you are earning sufficiently. But your perception is different. You feel like it's the Four of Pentacles, where you're not very, I mean, the job is just providing enough, but not abundance. Although people are seeing that, you know, there is abundance that will come to you. So maybe that's what they're seeing, and you're not really aware that this job is going to finally pay off for you. But there is abundance coming in, and this might be coming in, you know, whatever idea of project you're doing, there will be abundance coming in. There might be that you're going to be getting some raise that you're not even aware of. So there is abundance coming in with the Four of Wands card. So with the Eight of Pentacles, you feel like, you know this job inside out. So you know, it looks like you yourself have reached a point where you're not really interested in continuing with this job with the Ten of Pentacles. And on your mind is the Eight of Pentacles. You feel that you've learned as much as you can learn. You know every aspect of the job, and you're an expert at all the aspects. And, you know, maybe this is why you're feeling maybe that you're bored, or there's not much more that you can learn, because you've reached the point where you're an expert in everything in it, and there's no scope for any more development within this particular position. So going into the future, you've got Strength, the Hierophant, and Judgment. So the Strength card says you've got to go within yourself and look for, you know, use your own self-confidence. So you've got to act with more self-confidence and more authority in whatever you're doing. You've got to look within yourself to find that that spark, that thing that's going to make you, spur you on, that inspiration. You've got to find it within yourself. So you've got to use your words to try and change the situation. Use your influence to change the situation that you're in at this particular moment. You've got to learn how to manipulate that situation to suit you. And it might require that you go in to studying or get advice from somebody, because the Hierophant speaks about guidance. So you might need some guidance from somebody to help you understand how to be able to manipulate the situation to suit your own needs, so that you can get your promotions, or you can get further afield. You also might need to go and do some research. You might need to go and do some extra studies. You might need to take up some extra skills, but definitely talking to people, and definitely something that involves gaining information. You might need to seek some money advice as well, because the Hierophant deals with money, and any kind of financial information is what the Hierophant controls, because it's the card that controls Taurus. So you might need to go and get some financial advice, maybe do some research over the internet over how to, you know, manipulate your finances, but you'll need some sort of financial advice input coming in. Some expert advice is what this card says. And it might be something very traditional, because the Hierophant also deals with traditional things, things that are based in long-term things. So, you know, what has gone in the past lessons that have been learnt is what the Hierophant card usually is based in. So the Judgment card is the final card, which is the Judgment card speaks about moving away. So if you've been feeling like, you know, you're enslaved by this situation, you can see Moses leading his people out of out of Egypt and into the Promised Land. They're going through the Red Sea here, and you've got this angel overlooking. So things are going to be divinely guided for you with this Judgment card. You're going to have to leave the past behind. So this feeling of slavery and being overworked is something that you're going to have to leave behind. All these leave the past behind. You're going to have to take on a leadership role, and you're going to have to move things forward. So you might be the one, after being, you know, maybe you'll need further education to get yourself into an expertise role, so that you can get this promotion in order to move people into a better phase or into a better way of working, and you will be the one that takes the lead in this role. You will take this Moses lead, where he takes these people out of hardship and into the Promised Land. And all of it is divinely guided. So you've got to also look to your higher self for some sort of guidance. So trust your dreams, your instincts, your intuitions, and they are the things that are going to help turn you into this leader, and you will be the leader that takes your people out of bondage, if you like. So you're going to take people out of a phase where they're overworking and not getting any rewards, not reaping any rewards. So all this phase of overwork is going to come out, and you're going to probably introduce some new idea that is going to revolutionize the place that you're working in. So be aware that you're going to be taking on some sort of leadership role, and some idea that is going to come to you that is going to allow you to take people out of the way they're working now, change the way things are running at the moment, and into something better for them. And it's all going to come from divine inspiration. So you have a big role to play in the position that you are. Maybe thinking that, you know, you want to just leave it and leave and walk away is not something that you should be thinking about at this particular moment. You've got to make some sort of sacrifice over here, and it might be a sacrifice of time, and it might be that you need to go and get some sort of further education in order for you to take on this role, as eventual role as a leader. So you know, this might be some position that you need to stick in. It was something that you initially started really loving. Maybe you feel like it's become a drudgery at the moment, but you need to see the bigger picture where you reach a point where you're a leader right now. And you stop feeling like a slave and start taking on this leadership role. So stop feeling like the Five of Swords, where you're feeling like the slave that is working too hard and being humiliated, and know that you're vying for this position of leadership where you will be able to make big changes, and a lot of abundance will come in once you take on that particular role. So a need probably for some further education, and know that you are going to be eventually taking on a very important role, and it's going to bring big changes, this role that you eventually take on. So you might need to just hang in there, stick with it, look for different solutions to problems. So we've got the Moon card as the first card, which says powerful intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, understanding the truth of the situation. So a Moon card also says that, so stop worrying, stop being depressed, and also rely on your intuition, and don't make very, very big decisions, because the moon is not it's not something that shines by day. It reflects light by night, and reflected images are not really reality. You've got the new moon phase over here, so this is a new beginning of something, but don't make really big decisions. So don't just give everything up and leave. Make sure that you stick with it. It's something that if you stick with it, all this confusion and clarity will come in. All the confusion will go out. So you've got the Seven of Autumn, which says have patience, don't worry, take time to rest, plan your next steps, a prudent investment in time and money. So you do need to sit down and wait. And you've made a lot of investments, and you've invested a lot of time and energy into this job. Don't leave it and run off. You need to stick with it. It will pay off in the end. And the last one is the Queen of Autumn, which says be practical with respect to how you proceed, the ability to make something more beautiful, and meeting someone who will help you make your dreams come true. So you are getting to a place where you are going to become the Queen of Autumn, which is like the Queen of Pentacles, but you have to be very practical in how you do things, and you will get somebody who will be there to assist you, guide you, give you that advice. So you need to go and ask for this advice from the Hierophant. This is an earth sign card, and the Queen of Autumn is an earth sign card as well. So there is somebody that is going to come in to give you some practical financial advice, or you will need to go and seek some practical financial advice in order for you to deal with whatever's going on around you. There is abundance coming in with the Four of Wands, and there is stability with that Four of Wands. So you will end up going to a good place. The Ten of Pentacles is also a card where there is excess finance coming in, and you will need to make proper investments as well. So you are reaching a good phase. You are reaching the top of your career. So don't lose heart. Know that you will eventually get into a position of leadership where you will make big changes, and you will be in charge of a lot of people and moving them into a good direction. So I hope that this reading has resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me some comments if it has. And thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Goodbye.